Hi, this is Dr. Greg Campbell. Today I have the pleasure of introducing you to the twist polishing kit for silicate ceramics, the GC01 kit from Meisinger. I had the opportunity to co-develop this with Meisinger to use with silicate ceramics like Emacs. I wanted a kit that was easy to use and that I could teach my entire staff how to do this and have it to be repeatable and predictable every time. This kit does that. This kit's a no-brainer and it's a winner. Step one is to use the abrasive stone to remove the sprue. I'm going to go in on the buckle here, and I'm just going to go ahead and start to remove that material off of here. Medium pressure, and just let the stone work for me. Once I've done that, I've got the sprue entirely off. I'm going to now go through, I'm going to round my marginal ridges, because I tend to think they mill just a little bit square here on the Emacs. And we'll go on my occlusal surface. And that's it. We're done with the sprue removal abrasive stone. The next thing I have is a centered cone. The centered cone, that allows us to define or refine any anatomy, extra anatomy we'd like to put in on this. I tend to like to accentuate my grooves. I tend to like to make sure that I have a great primary and secondary anatomy here. So I'm going through here, I'm actually putting in my extra anatomy on here. This is going to last you a very, very long time. Once you've defined that with your centered cone, now you're ready to go into the middle section here, the bottom row. You're going to go to the pre-polish wheel. This pre-polish wheel I like to use on the broad surface areas. I do not use this on the mesolar distal contact. You want to not do that because you want to protect your proximal contact strength. So we're going to use this on the buccal, the lingual, and the occlusal. So I'm going to come on here, about 10 to 12,000 RPM, medium pressure, not heavy pressure like you use with paste. You're going to protect your margin with your thumb like I'm doing here, if you're right-handed. And just going to let the wheel go in and start to polish. You can already see that it's starting to take on somewhat of a semi-gloss appearance there. Go on to our lingual. I'm just going to let this pre-polished wheel work for me. Once I've done that, I'm going to come onto my occlusal surface, go into the areas that allow me into, and we're done with that. Again, the high shine wheel, which is in the upper row in the middle, is used on anteriors to accentuate your line angles. So now we're going to get into our pre-polished twist wheel. This is blue in color. We're going to run this at 10,000 RPM. It really works well between 8 and 12,000. I like 10,000. And we're going to run it at medium pressure. We're going to let this work. Again, we're not going to use this on the mesial and distal contacts. We're only going to use the high shine twist on that. So again, we're going to work through this. We're going to let this wheel do all the heavy lifting for us, and it's given us a really nice finish onto the restoration already. I'm not going to be bouncing all over it. I'm taking it down to the margin. You're not going to hurt your margin with this. You want to be careful not to run the twist polishing wheels this way because it will actually rip the wheel up. You want to protect your margin and run this down towards your thumb. Then we're going to go through our grooves just like with gold, but not with the heavy pressure. We're just going to walk it through and let it start to polish for us. I love how simple this kit is and how efficient it makes me and how repeatable and predictable this is. The final step that we're going to do here is we're going to go to our high polished twist wheel, which is yellow in color. We're going to run this about 10,000 RPM, and this is going to be light pressure. Okay, light pressure is going to do all the work for you, and we're going to get a very, very nice glossy finish on here. And I'm not going to be bouncing all over the place. You can actually go side like this if you'd like, but I tend to just go up down to my margin here. I'm going to let this wheel work for me. You can already see that we have an incredible gloss finish on here from this wheel. Now I'm going to go in occlusal. I've got some great anatomy on this restoration. I'm going to walk this through the grooves. Light pressure. You can try medium and then go to light, and you'll see that light does everything you need it to do for you on here. I'm going to clean this off. Got a lot of dust on here from polishing, and you have a very highly polished restoration. It's in the blue state. This is the Emacs, and then now we can characterize it if we choose to do it, put it in the oven and fire it, and we're ready to cement it. So what we did is we polished it in the blue state, and we just put it in the oven without any glaze on, without any characterization. We just crystallize it, and this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven, ready to go in. I would like to add that there's also a GC02, which is an intraoral kit that you can use for after you cement the restoration. You adjust your contacts and it will polish it back to the same luster. I'm Dr. Greg Campbell. Thank you for listening.